All right, let's give it a clean. First thing I like to do is just grab one of my t-shirts. I tend to wreck a lot of shirts. Take them apart, cut them all up, use them for rags. Just get all the grease off and the oil off from shooting day, just so it's not all over everything. While you're doing that, you're at the same time you're looking around, checking for anything like a crack in the frame or anything like that. Any new marks. Done that. I like to take a stack of the little 1.5 inch cleaning things. Sometimes if I don't have any left over, I'll actually just use like regular medical gauze. Works well. And then I just set the stack down on the table and I pour the cleaner on it. And that's it. Top one's the wettest and the bottom one hopefully is the driest, and as I run them through, I run them through. So first things first, of course, we've already checked. We know that there's nothing inside there, but look again, just it's good optics. Take the brush, run it through. Basically just knocking off any loose whatever might be in there. Spiders, cobwebs, depending on if you've used your gun lately. I usually do that first. Then I'll take one of my gauze. Now this is not a metal brush. This one here is actually just a some type of composite, I guess. So I don't know if my cleaning rag will stay on it. When you do it with the yeah, see, that one passes through very easily. Well, not very easily, you gotta push it. That's pretty darn dirty. I've always wondered if you could do this so many times that eventually it'll come out 100% clean. I've never had the patience to find out. Because this is a long one, and you gotta use the handle because the handle spins so that it can rotate down the bore. I guess you don't really have to do that, but yeah, you got a dirty gun. So I did that. Yeah, the patch just came off the bottom. I didn't even bother picking it up this time. I just keep running patches through here until she's clean. And then pick the pile up off the floor. I tend to run 20 patches on average, I think, through. Just, I'd like to say I do it until they come out completely clean, but most of my guns are so old, it never really happens. But I'll go through this stack of 20 cleaning cloths. Now, take a look at the last one. Oh, that one stayed on. Let's see. Not bad. Much better. This gun is, well, I was going to say 100 years old, but well, it's a 1918 model. But they made these up until, I think it was 1946 or something like that. So even at the oldest date, 1946, 80 years old. Now don't point it at your face. All right, that's the last one. And we're gonna poke it through and pick them all up at the bottom here. All right. Last one to go through. Not too shabby. All right. There's our pile. Oh, I like to... Good look. I typically use Q-tips. I dip one end, squeeze off as much of the cleaner as possible. Then the one spot that I'm always concerned about is where the bullet seats. Because if the seat of the bullet doesn't seal down properly, you can get blowback, you can get misfires, you can get all sorts of things. So I like to get right inside there, wipe it out. Gives me a good chance to look and see. And actually, yeah, it was jet black when I was cleaning it the other day before I used it the first time. So I actually got in there with a toothpick and cleaned out any residue and stuff like that, and then cleaned it all out. So this thing's pretty clean for a 80-year-old gun. Oh, it's got to be older than 80. Oh my goodness. It's I was born in 1965, and I'm 59. This thing, I guess, was born in 1945, let's say. Yeah, so it's 89. 40, right? Can I count? 1949, 59, 69, 20 years older than me. I'm 59, 69, 79. There you go. I can't count. So this thing's 80 years old. You just kind of look around for any of the spots that look like they might have dirt or grunge or anything like that. Give it a really good look over. Clean up anything you possibly can that looks dirty. Yeah. And there you go. She's clean. So, let's put her back together again. So, don't need that anymore. This is a good time to oil it. Handy dandy oil. Before you just put the bottom back on, I like to put a couple of drops where the trigger actuates and moves. And I just give it a wiggle. Yeah, this is a really tight action on this gun. Very impressed with it. Very solid, very well built, very simple. Well, I guess they won a war, didn't they? So, all right. Bum, 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 bum. First, we gotta put that guy back. No, silly me. Gotta watch this piece down here. Gotta watch everything. It's gotta line up with this bottom screw here. There we go. Easy peasy. I'm videotaping, or I was.
Oh, where?
Thanks.
I could keep hearing mumbling.
Yeah, no, I was talking to the camera, which I still am now. I need an office. Light taps. Just a little hammer. Not going to damage the stock. All right, so. Screws back in. Ooh. One sneaks in like so. Oops. You got to catch this one right. There we go. There it is. Where'd the screw go? Yeah. So my wife is watching the grandchildren, or my granddaughter, while my son and his wife are working, so she's just outside my door playing hockey, apparently. Ta-da. All right. Literally 3 screws hold this whole gun together. And it has for 80 years. Does, if I can get them lined up. Now this bottom one here, because that thing is swimming around all over the place. Sometimes it's helpful to have something a little pointy. That'll work. Yeah, it's interesting that, there it is. It's interesting that the band that holds the front part of the muzzle is just loose, slides up and down and back and forth. Alright, well, that's back together like that. All we have to do is the bolt. So, typically on the bolt, you just look for anywhere where there's action and movement. This one's actually really easy to move. The spring is really good. And typically just a couple of drops of oil in the action. And then check the end. Put a drop in the tiny little hole. Yeah, this was neat. I can actually see the firing pin and check on it. All right. And that girl goes back. I'm gonna have to flip it over for this. There we go. So I'm gonna hold the trigger. Slide that in straight. And that goes down and clicks on there. And it's in. Easy peasy. So, now this really difficult piece of wood goes snap like that. There you go. So put the sight back on. So the sight, you can see, no, you can't see from there. It's threaded in there. So when you push down on this button, it lines it up so that this can just slide straight down to its lowest point. And there we go. There's a little set screw in there that sets this up. Now the other day at the range, I just put it all the way down, set it directly to center on the sight, and it was bang on. It was really good. So there you go. The stock on this one looks like it's been sanded down and modified a little bit. Although the buttstock fits well, there's no cracks in it. It fires well. So that's a great gun. What I don't understand on this one here is this section here. On all the other videos and the pictures I've seen, this piece actually comes up and over, and people mount their scopes on it. On this one, it's not there at all. Yeah, isn't that different, eh? So this comes all the way back that far instead of stopping there. Yeah. The this this thing's tight. There we go. Clicks over like that. Now it can't fire. That's quite the mechanical. Now it can. I've dry fired this one before and it holds up really well. It's in good shape. Well, there you go. It's back together again. You got to hear me talking to the family, and that's how I clean them. It's that easy.